What was the
fine,
one
but
that I said that, no, he was definitely a bad guy in that?
oh, you said Philadelphia. Hi there, and welcome to Jav and Charles Talk Comics, Season 5, Episode 4. We are on a roll, ladies and gentlemen. We are on our fourth episode of this season, this probably truncated season, and I am your host, Charles Herring, with my co-host sitting across from me, well, sitting a few miles away from me in his living room, Javier Gonzalez, my very good friend, Javier Gonzalez. Hi, Jav, how you doing?
I'm good, Charles. How are you?
I'm doing great, man. It's nice to see you.
Good to see you, too.
We can see each other. We have the, what do the kids call it? Oh, FaceTime. We have FaceTime. I don't think the kids use FaceTime.
I don't think the kids know it. You know what? I'm pretty sure they don't know what FaceTime is.
Oh, wow.
The kiddos.
Wow. I think they do know what it is. It depends on the kids. Because now
Right.
my problem is I am thinking of the kids as my 20-year-old nephew. Anywho, we're going to be talking about two comic books today, as we are wont to do.
Are you not going to say anything about me dancing during and shadowboxing during the Mark countdown?
No, what were you doing?
You didn't see me when I was doing this?
Oh, I
and
never look at you.
Oh.
Yes, I saw you dancing. You were trying to make me laugh.
I was, because I always crack up.
You're just overdoing it. I mean, I don't go so hard to make you, which it's just sad.
As most of
You're
my
just so
past
needy.
and current, my past lovers and my current wife have said, I just try too hard. I just try too hard.
I got
So that got him.
I
got him.
I got so many jokes that I'm not gonna air out here.
Oh.
So
You just hold those in reserve. You put those in your 6-shooter and keep them in reserve.
no, they weren't good.
Oh.
They were mean.
Oh.
I apologize for even thinking of them. So we both suggested comic books, and for once, I suggested the oldest one. I think this is a good, just age-wise. We were talking about what our oldest one was. This is up there
I mean, unless you're talking,
because it's right around Fantastic Four. Because I think we decided the Fantastic Four was our oldest.
right. And I was looking at this. So yes. So you suggested Lone Wolf and Cub,
Yes.
the classic Magna. How do you say it?
I've just been calling it a comic book because it is a seminal work in comics.
It really is. And then, yeah, and that, depending, so the Japanese version, the original, which came out in Japan in Japanese, I want to say came out in a weekly, yeah, I looked this up, a weekly serial starting in 1970. So very old school. And it spawned its own little empire and has been very rightfully so copied, duped, intentionally. But yes,
Yeah,
you suggested that one.
Yeah, the Mandalorian, for instance.
Oh yeah, like the. I was just. Do you watch? I don't think you do. Bob's Burgers.
No.
There's a fictional film series in that. And I forget what it's called, but it's a father-daughter
Okay.
that travel town to town in Japan that's been dubbed to English film series that Bob Belcher and his daughter Louise love. And it's a complete tribute call up of Lone Wolf and Cub.
Yeah. So
Anyways.
so you read it. What did you think?
Oh, it's awesome. It was awesome. I don't think that I've read about it so much. I felt like I had read it, but I had never read it. And it's all the praise it has gotten, it should get, and should continue to get. It's seminal, unique, I think, especially when you talk about a crossover from Japan to here that is just well done and awesome. I don't know. Yeah. I'm guessing you enjoyed it.
I absolutely loved it. I started reading it the night we were discussing the last one, and I pretty much just kept going on it. I didn't read beyond that because there is just so many issues of that, and I can read on. You can read on and on and on forever. Well, I guess not forever, but for a long time. But its art was so just perfect for it. It's all black and white, right?
Yes.
I mean,
Yes.
it is all black and white with just the drawings are amazing. The sequential art is amazing. There is very little dialogue throughout the entire thing. It is just almost all picture books. You can legitimately do it without, you can follow along the story even if they didn't have anything in it with any kind of dialogue. It would be a little more confusing. You wouldn't know exactly what was going on, but the way they did this, that they can have this heart with just as a quick overview, it is a Ronin, a samurai without a master, but he's working as an assassin, and he has his infant child. I guess he's not an infant. I guess he's toddler. He has a toddler child with him. He's pushing him in a cart.
I think at one point they say he's 3 years old or something.
He's 3 years old.
I remember that.
Yeah, well, and at one point, I mean, we see the origin of how they got about it, and it's really, I don't know if you've watched any kind of Japanese things. I watched Shogun and Red Shogun recently.
Nope.
Okay.
The new Shogun?
Yeah, the new Shogun. I say I read it. I listened to Shogun. After I watched the series, I listened to the book. And I don't know how accurate that was, but it had some of the similar things about at one point in this, the assassin is flashing back to giving his child the choice because his mother had died. Everybody had been killed. And he was going to hunt them down, and he gave the child a choice between a ball and a
sword.
And he was telling the child, whichever you pick, if you choose the sword, you go with me. If you choose the ball, he was going to kill him. He was going to kill him to
join his mother / his dead wife.
And so when the small child goes and picks the sword, he weeps for him. He said it would have been better if you'd have chosen the ball.
Yeah. No, there's all the honor and everything you think of when you think of Japanese, that, is it feudal? I mean, 1600s, yeah, right? Yes. Are we thinking 1500s, 1600s?
Yeah,
Shoguns?
We're thinking 1600s. They talk about the shogun. That is the era that it is in.
The samurai, the ninja, and they talk about, I think at one point, there's talking, about the different clans of samurai versus ninja versus something else, the daimos, but certain ones had certain names associated with them, and he's wiping them out.
Yeah, he kills everybody. I mean, he is just the best that there is. And he uses his son. There was one where a samurai who's known for his guns, or fire sticks or whatever they called them, he has his son, he has the son in the water. And the samurai is riding by, and he shucks his guns and jumps in the water to go save the child, and up comes Lone Wolf, and he kills him. And
it's very much, now that you're saying, and I thought of Mandalorian, but the kid is pretty savvy and involved in helping out the old dad.
Oh, he is
just like Grogu. Grogu, sorry.
Yeah, no, this, and I don't think they deny it. The Lone Wolf and Cub has to be I didn't look it up, but Lone Wolf and Cub has to be a idea that helped flesh out the Mandalorian, because it's just so just amazing. All of the, I cannot believe, you talk about how art forms develop differently based on country, and this was just so well done. I was just amazed at how well everything worked. I can't really talk about a whole lots of it, because I mean it is just chapter after chapter of basically the gunfighter going into town, taking care of the problem, and then going away. He just has a child with him.
Okay, there's that. There's also, well, let's back up a little bit. Yes, it is very episodic.
Yes,
where each issue is its own tale, but it's building, I think, the lore of this. I mean, we'd say gunslinger, this sword slinger, and
Jedi.
But also, I was going to go back to it. You get to the whole thing about keeping one's word, and it, like there's the one issue where he challenges like the leader of that other school, of that one school, to a duel, a formal duel, and if he wins, he's got to be let go, and you're not supposed to come after him.
Yes.
And they have to honor their master's wishes, because to not do so would be shameful and dishonorable. Okay, and also I wanted to mention, so this is written by, I'm gonna spell it out. I'm gonna say Kazuo Koike, Kazuo Koike, and illustrated by Goseki Kojima, Goseki Kojima. The artwork, you're mentioning that. And sometimes there would be, in different parts of most issues, there was some heavy pages of dialogue, but like a couple panels to kind of set the story. And then you're absolutely right. Dialogue, writing only as necessary, sequential storytelling, sequential art storytelling at its best.
Yeah, the art tells the story from beginning to end. It is just, and it's beautiful art, black and white,
clean lines. I know
Yes.
the people that are listening that have read it know what we're talking about. Black and white sometimes to me can get too muddied. If there's too much detail, or it can look too sparse. This is perfect.
It's a very much in a Japanese style from what I've seen of other Japanese artwork.
Well, you know what? Okay, that's fine, because it also reminds me a little bit, like, you can tell that some Western American, European artists, but especially, like, I immediately started thinking a little bit of Miller. What's his name?
Reggie?
The Dark Knight. Yes, Reggie Miller. Reggie Miller, the shooter.
He was an artist of a 3-point shooter and a flailing kicking.
Frank Miller.
Frank Miller. Yeah, no,
Frank Miller, The Dark Knight Returns.
That makes a lot more sense.
Thank you. Or Mike Mignola, Hellboy.
Okay.
Like, you can see that I'm pretty sure they were this, surprise, this might have influenced them a little bit.
Yeah.
Even
yeah.
some John Romita Jr. Clean lines, also kind of like a horror thing, or like maybe a slasher thing before, if you don't want to make it R, showing less makes it more impactful. Like, they don't show, there's gore, and it's a lot of killing, but they don't show it like frame by frame, blow by blow. It's more, you see the sword finishing the killing stroke, and with stuff coming off of it, but you don't see him actually beheading somebody. But it's really good.
It really is. It doesn't. It leaves enough to the imagination, but not so much that you're missing anything. Everything is very clear. And it's. Go ahead.
Oh, go ahead. No, go ahead.
I was just going to say the whole thing is just kind of a haunting story. I mean, it's just so stylized. It's so. I like it. It is the true Western movie. Like our old westerns, it really is very episodic. It is building up because he has certain things he's trying to accomplish as well, but it is just taking money to kill people for the right reasons. He seems to be choosing his people well.
Yes, and then one thing he does, and because of the whole honor thing, they have to tell him the truth. Not that it's a bad thing. I'm just saying, he makes them tell him exactly what's going on and to tell the truth, and he can tell if they're lying, or he tells them that, and if they're not truthful or don't want to tell him, he walks.
Yeah.
And then they think that anybody else, he would use that for blackmail. He never does.
Yeah, it's that he just wants to make sure he's doing the right thing.
Right.
In his mind.
Exactly.
That they have a good reason to ask him to, murder all sorts of people. So
I think it probably goes without saying, like we were talking about The Mandalorian. I'm looking at the page, but Bob's Burgers, it's called Hawk and Chick.
Hawk and Chick. Okay.
Yeah. And they got I think he's a barber in that, though.
Okay.
That goes town to town, and they battle kaiju or something. It's right here on the Wiki. So if it's on Wikipedia, it's true. The Mandalorian, duh.
Yes. Well,
but then like some other stuff that, not a big stretch, but the graphic novel Road to Perdition in the movie.
That's
the dad and the son.
Okay. So you remember I said I was going to suggest something else, and I was reading the foreword, Road to Perdition, and he talked about it. No.
Okay.
No.
Okay.
I was talking about when I suggested this on the last episode that I was going to suggest something else, and
gotcha. And they mentioned this,
and he talked about that in the foreword to it, And that's when I was like, wait a minute, I think that's probably, let's read the original instead of, don't get me wrong, I think I'm going to suggest The Road to Perdition at some point, but I decided to read this first, and I'm glad I did.
Yeah.
Because I really enjoyed it. But he really did talk about in the foreword that this was one of the things, this was literally what he was trying to do in The Road to Perdition. And you know, of course, why I went to look up Road to Perdition, right?
No, why?
Okay, because Caesar asked us the question a few weeks ago, about a month ago, has Tom Hanks ever played a bad guy?
He's more of an anti-hero in that.
Well, yeah, no.
He's a bad person.
He was an assassin for the mob, and then for the Irish mob, and then they killed his family except for his son, and he went on a murder spree.
To protect his son.
Yeah, well, that's fine.
What was the one that I said that, no, he was definitely a bad guy in that?
Oh, you said Philadelphia.
I
he was gay.
not.
You did.
God
you
damn
did.
it.
You said Philadelphia.
No, what was it?
Yeah.
Seriously. We both were like, oh, yeah.
I said Forrest Gump because of cultural appropriation.
Whitewashing?
Yeah.
Yeah. I agree. And you just you hate people that aren't that bright.
I like you.
Gosh. Oh, thank you, Charles. What was what was it besides Road to Perdition now? There was another one that we both thought, we all agreed, we were like, oh, yeah, that one.
Well, I think, I don't remember. I do remember Cindy said the Castaway or whatever that, was it Castaway the movie?
Yeah. No, why was he a bad guy then?
Oh, no, she said he started out as a bad guy. He was an asshole.
Well, the asshole is different than like a bad guy.
Is it?
Right?
You just keep telling yourself that.
I do every day in the mirror. I do! I crack myself up and then make myself sad all at the same time. All at the same time.
Yeah, no, I don't know. I don't know. He hasn't played a ton of bad guys.
No, he hasn't. But I remember we were talking, and then we all decided. Oh no!
I think in that thing you do, he played an agent, so that's quasi bad guy.
Oh, this is gonna kill me because we had the back and forth, and I was patting myself on the back. I was like, no, he was definitely the bad guy in that.
Yeah, it was Philadelphia. We did not agree.
Oh my gosh! You're okay. We get it. Ha 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 ha.
Joe versus the volcano.
No, I'm looking at his freaking filmography now because it's driving me freaking crazy.
Sleepless in Seattle. I think my headcanon is he actually killed his first wife.
Never mind.
Oh, The Green Mile.
No?
No? Okay.
I remember we're both using our phones because there was definitely in the text thing where I was like, no, he was a bad guy in that. Anyways, well, hey, I was going to say there was a Lone Wolf and Cub Wolverine Volume 2 of Wolverine back in the late 80s, like a 4-issue thing where they just completely did a Lone Wolf and Cub with Wolverine being the thing. I don't know who the kid was.
They do Lone Wolf and Cub with Wolverine all the time with adolescent girls.
Well, the movie Logan.
Well, yeah, the movie Logan is Lone Wolf and Cub. I mean, he and Kitty Pryde. Is it Kitty Pryde?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's when she was like, what, 15, and they're going around? That was that. So he and Laura Kinney. I'm
not saying they invented the John. Oh, the Professional.
Oh,
remember
yeah. Well, thank God they moved away from certain aspects of that, because what is it with fucking filmmakers and wanting? Never mind. Jesus.
Oh, I know what it was. He played Colonel Tom Parker in Elvis. Tom Hanks.
Oh, did he? I don't remember that being part of the conversation, but yeah, he was not a good guy.
Yeah. So, but yeah, and then also, like you said, Philadelphia.
Call
back. Call back.
I didn't say that. I said you said that.
You want to attribute your homophobia to me.
Sure.
Right. Okay, so enough. That's a bad joke. Gosh, Charles. Yeah. Jeez Louise. I was going to say you're better than that, but come on. We know that's not true.
That is clearly evident.
I don't know. Look, it's spawned. Oh, I remember reading somewhere, I think at the back of this volume or somewhere, over 7,000 pages of original comic book art. And by that, I mean the writing and the actual art for this. But I don't know if it's by the same duo. I didn't go that far, but it's inspired, I think, or been adapted into 8 different films.
Yeah, I have queued up on HBO Max the first one. There's a few of them on HBO Max right now.
Okay.
And I was planning on watching it today, but then I didn't get a chance to because I was like,
are they dubbed? Are they original Japanese?
I have not. They are original Japanese movies. I don't know if they're dubbed or subtitled. I didn't get far enough to turn it on.
I got the list right here. God, and I love that. And see, this is me being whatever. I really do. I'm not being sarcastic. I love the names of these films. For example, there's 7. Sorry, that go from 1970. So right away, 1972. This came out in 70, and they knew they had a banger. And by 72, they're making movies about this in Japan. To 1980, 7 different films: Lone Wolf and Cub, Sword of Vengeance, which I think was the first.
That is
comic in this one. I forget.
No. Well, I mean,
no.
It might be they adapted. Those are not the 2 that were adapted. I read.
Okay.
I looked this up somewhere yesterday, and they adapted 2 in that movie. They adapted 2 of the original run, or the first, somewhere in the first 7 comics.
Okay.
But it wasn't the first one.
Okay, and then we got Baby Cart at the River Styx, Baby Cart to Hades, Baby Cart to Peril, Baby Cart in the Land. There's a theme going here.
Yeah.
White Heaven and Hell, and then number 7, no Lone Wolf and Cub prefix, just Shogun Assassin.
Well, I mean, a lot of the art is just is him pushing the baby in a cart.
Yes.
And it's just a little baby stroller cart made out of wood. And it is literally the Mandalorian and Grogu and his little thing going along. I mean, I kind of wish I'd have read this before I saw the Mandalorian.
The cart in this, though, the side rails are both like hidden like swords or spears. Like the back, if you flip it, over the bottom of it, apparently can deflect bullets because it's steel on the bottom. There's a few panels where that comes in handy. Yeah, and fast.
He's honorable. He's not stupid.
No. Shogun Assassin is actually an English language dubbed film with 12 minutes from Sword of Vengeance and most of Baby Cart at the River Styx. So that was actually the last one. The 7th movie was actually a combination of 2 films dubbed into English and apparently released here or in English speaking places.
Oh,
so there's that.
Yeah.
Oh man, yeah. I was really happy you suggested this. I don't know if I had any other real notes on it.
I really didn't. I highly recommend this if you're. I would say even if you're not that into comic books, I think this would be a good one. Just because it's just so.
Yes, I think so.
Well done.
I think I don't think it's hard stretch to say. Yeah, you don't have to be. Well, I think a lot of the stuff, but for sure, this is not a superhero comic. And then you get into, and I wasn't going to try to use all the different. Like there are certain words in this that they didn't try to translate from Japanese to English because they really don't have a straight Japanese to English translation. But you get to learn about the feudal historic society of Japan through reading stuff like this, and it's freaking fascinating.
Sure. I don't know how accurate the comic book was, but
hey, it's accurate. Okay, no, I don't know.
I mean, because I don't think I would if someone wrote a Western comic now and went a long time writing Western comics, that I would look at the Western comic and go, yeah, I'm sure that's what Arizona was like in 1843.
Yeah, well, we kind of do that with some stuff, like Odysseus, and for better or worse. I'm not saying Shakespeare stuff, but I'm just saying maybe a little bit.
Okay.
There's some truth there.
I'm not knocking it. I like I said, I really liked it. I'm going to watch the movie. I'm probably going to read a lot more of this because it is worth it.
And I'm kind of bummed now. I'm reading something here that Darren Aronofsky of Black Swan, The Whale, directing those, for example, he wanted or tried to get the rights to this for a new version or an some kind of version of it to make.
Oh, okay.
And apparently it didn't happen.
Well, that happens more often than it does happen.
Yeah. So.
Okay. Very cool.
Yeah. So hey, good for you.
We can both agree. I picked the best comic today on this podcast.
I'm not going to argue with you on that.
Oh, good.
Yeah.
So we don't really have anything to talk about in the middle section here, other than we do have a website. It's javandcharles.com, and you can go there and you can send Jav mail. Jav really, 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 really likes mail.
Yeah. So no mail.
No mail.
Well, that mate's chicken unhappy. Way to go, everybody. I'm just going to say it's more for chicken than for me.
I don't think it is.
No, so yeah, and then I'm not on Twitter anymore. On Blue Sky, my handle is Havganzo, right? Isn't that all it is?
I don't know. It's yours, but yes, that's what it is.
Okay, and then you are, well, because I used to be Havganzo tweets or something on the other place, but now because I didn't have to like trick it up. It's just Havganzo, and then yours is still the same?
No, it's just Herring Red.
Herring Red, that's right, Herring Red. And then we do have a Blue Sky
JCTC.
thing too. Yeah. Yes.
And that's
so there.
Just what it is. JCTC.
Boom. Shalakalaka. And that's the end of this podcast because, I didn't suggest anything to try to compare it to...
Oh, no, he did.
One of the best comic books written...
Maybe ever.
Outside of the United States and maybe ever.
No, I think it ranks up there high with... All
everything.
The really good American comics that we've talked about or that have been written. This was some good shit. And then there's what Hav suggested. No, that is completely unfair. This is a completely different type of comic book because it's not good.
No, you're cracking yourself up there,
really
aren't you?
I'm
you
so
really
sorry.
Are.
I didn't
you
really mean it's not that bad. Okay, so Hav suggested we read The Defenders from what year was this done?
Actually, 20 years ago. First issue came out in September of 2005.
Okay, so 20 years ago. And it was from guys that last wrote a comic book 20 years before that.
No, they had written a long run on Justice League Internet. Yeah, he's cracking himself up again. You are your best audience. It is. I wish you just let it. You can laugh out loud. It's okay, baby. You can laugh at your own jokes. Nobody thinks that's weird.
I'm the only one that gets me.
Oh. No, I think Cindy gets you. I mean, that's what she tells you and tells us.
And she puts up with me.
There you go. So they had a long, I think, glorious run that Charles just doesn't get because I think it was maybe partly an in-place in time thing and also the age I was.
It absolutely was. That I think I might have enjoyed it more if I had read it when I was whatever age Hav was when he read it.
Late middle school, early high school.
Okay.
It was a perfect time because it was funny. You felt like you were reading something a little bit more a little bit more than just a hero comic without the jokes, but they inserted the jokes with some entendres, double over the double type in there sometimes, and some wink, haha jokes. And they did that. And then let me say this, Keith Giffen, for example, co-writer on Justice League and then this, he'd had fame in doing other things before and after Justice League. I think he was a big writer on Legion of Superheroes, which was just not something I ever got into, which I keep on meaning to try to dive into, and I have a little bit. J.M. DeMatteis, I think he wrote on your Amazing Spider-Man for a good while.
No, I'm not. I really am not knocking this that much.
No, I know you're not. Just giving some context to the badasses.
They're good writers. And by the way, they said worse stuff about them than I'm going to say about them.
That was hilarious. And then
that was really good. Yeah.
Kevin Maguire, though, he cut his teeth. His first big break was that Justice League stuff, and his art was a very
his art's
it's
really
unique.
Good.
Yeah, it's unique.
Like
it's very distinguishable. Yeah. No, I'm just saying it's a very you can see it and say, oh, that's Kevin Maguire.
Okay.
He's one of those artists. So fast forward to 2005, and then they're going to do the Defenders, the non-team of the Marvel Universe.
They're all broke. They're showing a money grab. They
they probably did back then in the early aughts.
No, they didn't pay people shit.
They probably paid them better than most.
Yeah, they probably paid them good. I hope they did. That's legit. You know what I think creatives should be paid.
Yeah. Well, yes. They should get a cut of anything they create, and then they should also have some kind of deal. They should be able to unionize, and then they should be able to get a piece of the action on the sales.
Yes.
On top of a base salary. But yeah, so then they decided to do the Defenders. And by the way, the Defenders in Marvel, 616 has had a lot of different lineups, but this is going with the original Doctor Strange, Namor the Submariner, the Hulk, and then peripherally the Silver Surfer.
who never who never does anything in it, and I loved that.
Yes, we can get into it, but there is literally one issue. Oh, I just stole your thunder on the literally. Sorry. There was one issue where at the end, one of the characters kind of breaking the says, somebody's going to hate this because all we did was stand around and talk. And I thought of you. I was like, oh, that is so true because nothing happened in that issue. Like somebody decided this was going to be 5 issues, and the 4th issue, I think it was, where there wasn't not a lot of movement in the plot.
Yeah, no, they didn't do anything because it had to be 5 issues. It was a 5-issue series, and yeah. Okay, so it is about Dormammu. It is the magical beast that I don't even know what Dormammu is.
He's an extra-dimensional being that's always trying to take over this plane of existence, but specifically the Earth. And it's one of those classic things that his sister Umar points it out. Like, what is this, number 12 or 15 time that you're going to try to defeat Doctor Strange, and it never works, and
always lose. And
then she is merciless in her putting him down. She's his older sister.
So hold on. So this is my beef right here. This is my beef with this. It's my beef with
everything I suggest.
No, not everything you suggest. I like quite a bit of what you suggest, and I liked a lot of this. But my beef with this is it goes back to the same similar beef I had with the Justice League run we read, and it's every single character does nothing but fight with every single other character. That is it. That is the raison d'etre of the entire fucking comic. They fight with everybody. They all hate each other. They say mean things to each other. They don't want to be there. It is just gripey baby boomer old man shit from beginning to end.
I think this more so than Justice League, there were certain people that hated each other. But like fair. in Justice League, Mr. Miracle, Booster Gold, and Blue Beetle got along. Okay. But Batman had an issue with everybody, and Dr. Fate was aloof.
We can all agree Batman's just as big a dick as Guy Gardner.
Yes, but he's cooler, so it's okay.
Is he?
Well, he used to be. I don't know anymore. I put my thing out there on. I wrote my piece on that. Like there was something like, what's a hot sports opinion on comic books that would get you in trouble, or they had somebody tied up in a chair. I was like, I'm just kind of, but it's more because I've been reading comics for too long. I'm just like, I'm kind of tired of Batman. Like I love him.
Yeah.
But I've done it. Like I don't feel compelled to read a lot of new Batman because I feel like what's the point for me? Unless it's something completely brand new, but everything's a retread at this point.
I'm tired of Batman in the new lexicon always having to win every time, everywhere. That's not the good Batman. Bane broke Batman's back in the comic books. Batman doesn't always win. Batman does not always win. He is not always the smartest guy in the room.
Sometimes his sidekick gets brutally beaten to death.
Yes, well, Jesus.
Sometimes his bat
wasn't that one of these guys?
No, that was Jim Aparo was the artist.
Okay.
Who was the writer on that? I don't know who the writer was.
I came across something recently that it was brought up, so it was probably something else I was looking at because it was the mention, I'm one of the guys that killed off Robin.
Yeah, back in the day, Barbara Gordon got paralyzed because she was brutalized.
Well, actually, that's the most bullshit thing because that got done to her in a non-canon fucking thing.
In Killing Joke, and it wasn't supposed to be.
And everybody fucking went with it.
Yeah, everybody thought, that's a good idea. Let's keep that.
Yeah, let's. At least he didn't fridge her. Come on.
Well, and then I guess I was way too young to read that when it came out.
Yeah, you're still too young.
I didn't understand what had happened to apparently Commissioner Gordon, although he wasn't a ball gag.
That he raped him on a roller coaster.
Yeah. I think I was too naive. I think
that's good. That's good.
I was almost. I think
I'm glad.
If that came out in 87 or 88, I was 8th grade.
Okay.
And very, very Catholic school educated, and very naive. Not that I'm still very gullible. You know that.
What?
I'm incredibly gullible.
I would never say that to your face.
Exactly. So, so Dormammu's got this plan to partner with his sister Umar, who is I'm just going to say it. I don't think this may be me or something, but she's a nymphomaniac?
No, she just has a healthy sexual appetite.
Okay. Where she kills people if she's done with them?
If they were bad, yeah. Don't we all kill people that are
Okay.
bad at sex.
Okay. Well, there you go. You heard it here first, everybody. So,
Isn't that what you do with the hobos?
oh my God. You know what? I stopped doing the hobo jokes because they were starting to disturb me.
Wow, that's disturbing.
So I'll share with the folks.
No, don't,
here.
don't.
Okay,
Because if
good
you
idea.
start it, I'm gonna make you say horrible yes and things.
I know,
I
and I
apologize
can't
that I brought
stop
it up, and I may cut this whole thing out. I mean, I probably won't, but I might.
So in the comic book, Umar sees the Hulk, and she's an attractive lady in the comic, or
And always
demigoddess.
always wearing a bikini.
She doesn't like to wear clothes.
Yes,
lot.
I'm pretty sure the old guys doing this wanted her naked, and Marvel said no.
Probably. And she sees Hulk, and lo and behold, she takes him for her
Yeah, she got a lady boner
Lover.
for Hulk.
and is disappointed that it doesn't last as long. And then
She-
he reverts back to Banner.
Yeah, he reverted back to Banner, and she really didn't like
And
it.
she's like, bring back the other guy.
Yeah,
He's
bring
like,
back
I
the other-
can't.
Yeah, that was hilarious because he just wouldn't come back. He's just like, you're not scaring me enough. It's like,
Yeah.
come on, Banner.
Banner was interestingly written.
Yeah, Banner wasn't written well because he was always yelling at everybody, and everybody was one note. I'm sorry, they
Yes.
really were. They were all one note. I hate all of you, and it's like, okay.
Except for Silver Surfer, who was
Well,
just
just-
philosophizing on the beach
he
with
was on
Surfer.
the beach in Malibu with the Surfer
Yeah.
Bros, and he was just, all right, man. Now we're all going to surf, and the meaning of life is the hot betties on the beach and catching waves, dude.
No, don't stop. Keep on going. And what else? And there's more?
I concised it. It was,
Oh.
we're gonna have a clam bake tonight, man. It's gonna be groovy.
He had pointed out how unhygienic that is.
Clam bake.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Buried in the sand.
Okay, I did like, since I said things I didn't like, when the mirror dude shows up to Doctor Strange. Nightmare shows up to Doctor Strange by taking possession of Wong. He makes
Yeah.
the comment, you have possessed my manservant, and that becomes you're what now?
Uh-huh.
From Nightmare, he's like, we're going to tell Wong you're calling him your manservant, and it literally loops back later in the thing as he's going to.
Yes. Yeah.
That I liked. He's like, whoa, what year is this manservant?
Yeah. Yeah, or then when they're ridiculed because Wong is taking like some kind of spiritual serenity and folding clothes. She's like, "Is that somebody mentions?" And I'm paraphrasing badly. Is that some kind of crap that Strange fed you so that you will do the menial stuff and bring him tea?
Yes. Well, there's right as he's pushing away, he's like, right, let's get you into a mirror. But I like this body, as if it's as it is. It's going to take me weeks to purge your taint from my from Wong's form.
My manservant. It's very Pink Panther. The manservant he had that was always attacking him. You're in the Pink Panther movies. You remember that?
Say that again. I'm sorry.
The Pink Panther movies, where his manservant would always
Yes.
attack him.
Yeah.
It for some reason reminded me of that a different way. I just hadn't thought of that in a while.
Yes.
Which I think he did call him his manservant or something like that.
Yeah. Well, that was a different time, and so was this comic originally in a different time.
mid to late 60s.
Yeah. They were. It was almost, well, it wasn't, but it was almost okay to refer to your non-white
Your valet,
as your manservant.
your butler.
Yes.
Okay, now you're making me think of all sorts of stuff because now I'm thinking of the scene in Infinity War where Doctor Strange is talking to Stark on the spaceship with Spider-Man there with Peter Parker's like, what is the relationship here? Is he your ward or something? Of course, a reference to Batman and Robin.
Yeah, no, that was good.
I love stuff like that.
I really liked the between Star-Lord and the Wizard. What master do you serve? What am I supposed to say, Jesus?
Yeah.
Because that was awesome.
There's so many. Okay, real fast. One more. Rule of three. When Thor, Groot, and Rocket land, and then there's the thing where Groot turns to to Captain America. I am Groot, and Steve Rogers. I am Steve Rogers.
That is one of my favorite things ever. Was I am Steve Rogers, because the guy from the 40s would have done that.
Yes, he's trying to be nice. So look, the whole thing is Dormammu takes over the powers of eternity. Like one of the big, like there's eternity there. I forget what the big ones are that Kirby helped create for Marvel back in the day. It's like eternity.
I don't think Kirby invented eternity.
Like the concept. No, he did. He invented the concept.
He invented the concept of eternity. I think he'd be more talked about outside of comic books if he invented the concept of eternity.
Whatever. I think, though, okay, I know, but the character.
No, I know.
Infinity,
I was having fun.
I think it's Infinity or no, this is Eternity.
Yes.
And there's other characters, too, that are on that kind of weird par, like Death, maybe is one of them. It gets all kind of metaphysical there, which is always kind of troublesome.
Yes.
But
there's all sorts all sort of metaphysical bullshit in this, but most of it is pretty cool. Some of the cranky lines amused me. When his astral form goes to find Bruce, he says, "How many years, Bruce, have you lived like this? A hunted animal, bereft of a purpose, save survival." And Bruce turns back and says, "And how many years have you been speaking like an actor in a low-rent Shakespeare festival?"
Right. Right. Exactly. No, there's a, and then you hear Namor so egocentric, and they're constantly knocking him down, and he's constantly threatening to kill somebody.
Yes. Well, the exchange that I also have is, I've been Banner saying to Namor, I've been meaning to ask you, did you ever actually find Nemo, or are you still looking?
Yes.
And it takes there's a panel of no talk, and then he responds, "If I knew what you meant, I would kill you where you stand."
I was going to say, I feel like he said, "I will kill you where you stand" a few times.
That
was a go-to thing for him.
Yeah, it just there was a lot going on, but not that much. I did like when Dormammu wins and takes over the entire world and changes it, and there's a whole all of the comic. The major hitters and some of the minor hitters are there, but they've been warped and served Dormammu.
Yes.
There's a Spider-Man that is literally eight. I think he's got 8 limbs.
Well, yeah, 8 limbs. 6. Yes, 6 arms and 2 legs, I think. And then you got the Iron Man that's all ironed up, and
yes, and
Captain America's got the A in his head.
Yeah, and there's a Wolverine and a Thor monster, and there is a Doctor Strange. Oh, and Daredevil is actually a devil. He's got devil's horns.
That's right.
And it's just that was good. That I liked that. I also liked that once again trickery is what Doctor Strange used to beat him, like always.
Yeah, like always.
So.
And in cahoots with his sister, who at one point she finally says she loves her brother, and he just falls over himself because he finally has the love of his older sister. And yeah, you knew she was eventually going to double cross her brother. They weren't hiding that too well at all.
Oh yeah.
But yeah. One of the nitpicks I had though actually was about the art. I love Kevin Maguire. You know this. Mm-hmm. I'm pretty sure, given reading the credits, there was no inker for him, so he inked his own stuff.
Okay.
And for some reason, I really think he's better served to have a separate inker. That I don't know. I remember I was thinking of the inker that was on for example, Justice League and other stuff he's done, but for sure, Justice League, it was just a little better. I'm just gonna say it. There you go.
Chris Sotomayor, colorist. That's not the inker?
Colorist, but not inker.
Oh, okay.
And because in the Justice League and Justice League National, he had an inker.
Okay.
And then they also talk at one point in one of the credits. I forget who the name of the editor is or somebody, but they say Soonest changed his name to Andy Heffler, who I think was the editor on Justice League, by the way.
Oh.
So that was a call way nerd out Easter egg callback to that. So yeah. I was saying, so in the Marvel universe, there's Eternity, who is what the entity that Dormammu, takes the powers from to become omnipotent.
Yes.
There's also, so that's Eternity. There's Infinity, the embodiment of space, and then the physical manifestation of reality itself is reality.
Yeah, so there was a great thing that I really, 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 really felt from his Dormammu's sister, Umami?
Umar.
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 So she says, "Can the little bald man come with us?" He replies, "Will you forget your carnal appetites for one moment? Just one. Now, are you going to unlock the amulet, or are you planning to give another 40-minute speech?"
Yeah.
There was a lot of talking in this.
Oh, there was, you know what? I was thinking of you when I flip the page on my Chromebook and just see so many lines of dialogue and so many words.
And it was all
and also again, no action, just people standing around talking
and just giving each other the business. That's the whole thing was we were just giving each other the business.
Yeah, and it kind of got a little yes, and hey, they repeated a couple things, and I kept on waiting. Though I'm picking the nit here. I'm nitpicking. I kept on waiting for. I'm a little disappointed that Silver Surfer at some point didn't swoop in and save the day.
I gotta be honest with you. I was positive he was going to, and I kind of liked that he didn't. I was like, it was okay, especially because they did that. They popped back when all the people had changed, and then he's just on the beach with all the guys are still on the beach, the guys and gals, except they're all these weird monsters, and they're still surfing. And I fucking loved. I actually loved that. I'm like,
Yeah, good point.
They did not. Oh, at the last minute, he's going to be the guy. Because I was sitting there going, how are they going to resolve this? I'm like, oh, fuck, the Silver Surfer's going to come in. And they're like, nah, fuck you, Charles. You're going to give us enough shit. We're not going to do that.
The low-hanging fruit. You're right. You know what? You're right. The low-hanging fruit would have been, the power cosmic, Silver Surfer comes in and saves the day.
That's right. And they're like, nope. So they sidelined the overpowered guy in the group, and it was better for it.
Gotcha. And I misspoke earlier. There is a brother-sister. The brother is eternity. The sister is infinity in the Marvel Universe, period. And then there's some lesser spawned abstract entities in the Marvel Universe, apparently, like Entropy and Eon. But the big ones are Infinity and Eternity. So, I don't know. That part of the Marvel Universe I always feel has potential that hasn't been fully explored.
I highly disagree with you. But that's just a taste thing, and I am not interested in that. So I'm not saying you're wrong. I'm just saying that just does not float my boat in any way whatsoever.
You and I suggested a while back that we read that Universe X, the end of the Marvel Universe, where Franklin Richards turns into Galactus and all that, and the Norse gods were only Norse gods because people thought they should be.
Yes.
You really didn't get into that, and I was fascinated by all that.
I didn't dislike it. I liked it, but it's just, again, it's got too much going on. That's my biggest problem with a lot of these things is they just got so much. I like a smaller story most of the time. That's my thing. I gotcha. That's why I really, really loved Lone Wolf and Cub, because they were very small stories, but they were very meaningful within their size.
Yeah. No, I agree. No, and like I said, this was Defenders by this creative team at that time was very much a fanboy service.
Oh yeah, and I think they did. Overall, this was a good comic. I'm not going to say it was a bad comic. It was a fun comic. I enjoyed a lot of it. I got a lot of problems with it, but that's just problems with this style of thing. I was thinking it's the everybody has to fight everybody at every instant of every fucking conversation. To me, that just gets old. It's.
I really did. But I think I said I really did enjoy, and I guess I know I've read a fair amount of Hulk that was written by Peter David. I really like this characterization of Bruce Banner.
Yeah.
Where he's not all meek and meager and he's more standing up for himself. I guess he was like that at times.
Yeah.
Depending on who was writing him.
Yeah.
He's good.
Been that often. Sometimes he just gets beat down. This is you know what? Fuck all of you guys. My life is fucking hell. And I don't have to be nice. Honestly, of the three of them, he has more right to be a pissy little bitch than, like, say, Namor. I did really enjoy the Namor version in the world where in the Dormammu world that comes and rescues them and takes them, or when they capture Doctor Strange. When Doctor Strange captures Doctor Strange, and what we don't know is that Doctor Strange actually wins, and he sneaks him in. I'm giving away spoilers because I don't think any of y'all are going to read this.
It's 20 years old too.
Yes, and that's fair. So, but the Namor, the guy that saves Namor and says, "Hey, we're part of the underground. You can come with us." And they start talking, and he goes, and he keeps calling him Namor. He's like, "Prince Namor." He's like, "Okay, Namor." And the guy's, he's telling him things. He's like, "I believe you." And he's like, "Yeah, well, you should." He's like, "Well, I don't believe anybody." And he's like, "Well, why do you think you believe me?" And then he takes off, and it's Namor that's just human instead of half fish. So I liked that. And by the way, I always forget, and I didn't double check this, but I'm pretty sure Namor came out before Aquaman.
Oh, I don't. You know what? You're probably right, because Namor is Golden Age Marvel.
Yeah.
And you may very well be right on that. And Namor, out of all of them, I mean, Cap too, I guess, to some extent, but he hasn't changed much. He's always been an ass, apparently.
Yes. Oh, yeah. No, he is just, he's a giant ass. I mean, he is who he is. He is.
I was going to mention.
He's one of my least favorite ones.
I like him because he is such a pompous douchebag. I did think, just so you know, when I was reading, after you suggested Lone Wolf and Cub, and I already decided I was suggesting Defenders, and then when I was reading both, I was like, oh, wow. These are two completely different comics, as opposed to when we kind of had a quinky-dinky the other week when we both suggested sci-fi stuff. This was like, well, one of these is better than the other. One of these is a unique, different take on comics from back in the early 70s, and then there's hijinks and ha-has, which is fine. It was just kind of funny because I was like, wow, these are two diametrically opposed comics.
Yes, so I don't have to do a Charles was right in this.
Yeah.
Namor 1939, Aquaman 1941.
Boom. Yes. Take that, DC Distinguished Competition.
Yeah, so
okay.
Aquaman complete and total ripoff? Yes, it was.
Right. Except they didn't give him little wings on his ankles.
That's because he doesn't fly.
Okay, sure. Good points. Touche. No more statements. I mean, he doesn't. Yeah.
I mean, Aquaman doesn't fly. He doesn't have to have little wings.
The fact that they pulled off Namor as well as they did in Wakanda Forever.
Oh man,
is awesome.
They did that well
with the wings on the ankles.
Uh-huh.
The fact that was all, I mean, it was like, that's the way it works. Deal with it.
Just, I did approve of the fuck you. I approved of that as much as I approved of James Gunn putting the trunks on Superman.
Yes.
It's like,
I don't understand how you cannot have the trunks on Superman. It looks
fine.
Weird to me.
Yeah, it's fine. For fuck's sake, it's a comic book. It's fine. He can wear something weird.
He wears his underwear on the outside, okay?
And
he's from a different planet.
I love that Nathan Fillion fought for the haircut. Did you hear that?
Did he really?
Yeah,
I didn't know that.
I read a thing, and he was like, he wanted it because he wanted to show that character does not give a fuck what anybody thinks. And he is correct. So he really gets the character. And the more I think about it, the more I do want them to do he gets bumps
punched.
His head and all of a sudden is nice. No, I don't think he needs to be punched. That was dumb. But no, I'm just kidding.
Oh, how dare you attack me and everybody else that love the one punch.
I know. The one punch is great. It was funny. But I do now want that to happen.
Well, we digress, my friend. Anything else on Defenders?
No, I don't have anything else on it. This would not be the Defender group I would really want to read if I was going to do a Defender arc.
You know what?
I'd more want Power Man and Daredevil and...
Oh, from the TV stuff.
Well, that wasn't just the TV stuff. There are arcs with that group of Defenders.
There was at the end of the original Defenders run, there was a group that was called they changed Defenders to the New Defenders. None of these folks were in it. It was Valkyrie. There was a character called Cloud, who it was kind of like a big deal back then because I think they were either bi or gay.
Okay.
Or then there was Beast, Angel, and Iceman.
Okay.
Because they were cast-offs. Gargoyle, Demons DC. Gargoyle. It was a really interesting lineup. And you could tell they told them, hey, by the way, this thing is going to be ending in a few issues.
Go crazy.
And this is me and that was firmly in the mid to late 80s.
Okay.
When that run was interesting. I don't know if it holds up, but that's a really good, interesting run too.
Okay.
That maybe at some point we'll have to visit. But
okay.
And speaking of other artists from overseas or other countries, one artist we're going to have to eventually dive into is Jean Girard, also known as Jean Girard Mobius. His artwork is distinct. He's done a lot of great stuff. I think he's French or French-Belgian.
Okay.
But I think he was involved in a lot of stuff like Valerian that they tried to adapt the movie into. I think he was part of that. He did some other stuff. So anyways, just FYI, there's other stuff on the horizon for us.
Cool.
Okay,
Cool.
but if nothing else, do you know what you're? I think we both know what we're.
Yeah, we both know.
I think
Why don't you go ahead and say what we're doing?
I suggested that you read Flex Mentallo by Grant Morrison and Frank Quietly.
The great Grant Morrison and Frank Quietly.
And the great, yeah.
Those two are just amazing.
And I'm pretty sure he is his first, I want to say what I remember from is from Morrison's run on Doom Patrol, which is where this character I think jumps off from. And then
I'll go with mine.
Yeah, go ahead.
I suggested Traveling to Mars. Traveling to Mars from Mark Russell and Roberto Melli. I hope I'm saying that correct, the artist.
And Mark Russell, of course, if memory serves, I didn't Googleize him.
Yeah, Mark Russell is who wrote Flintstones.
Yeah.
And then Fantastic Four and Snagglepuss. And No,
so not too shabby. We got two heavy hitters here on the writing.
Yeah.
And the art, by the way. If
the art. I was waiting till this came out in graphic novel. I could have read it on one of those comic sites, on the library comic sites, one at a time. But I'm like, I want a graphic novel because I knew I was going to suggest it. Because I've read a lot about this, and I've been looking forward to reading it. I haven't read it. I told you this year I'm just pulling stuff. If I want to read it, I'm going to do it. So.
I read this Flex Mentallo, but it's been years. Like I want to say, I may be wrong. I want to say this came out like in like the aughts.
Okay.
I could be wrong.
No, that one seems kind of cool. I like that character because he was also in the Doom Patrol TV series.
Yes, that's and you know what? God, I never finished that series.
Oh, really? You should finish the series.
The last series.
I finally went back and did it, and I was like, I'm glad I did because I used to be more of a completionist, but I am a completionist sometimes, and I did want to finish that series off.
And I usually am, but I think I'm kind of don't want it to end. Like I never finished Supernatural.
I gotcha. Yeah, I went back to start a whole rewatch with the plan of I'm going to just finally finish it, and then I bogged down again because I'm like, oh man, and I got anyway.
Okay,
we're lame.
One other preview. I've been saying it. Gail Simone has been writing. I think she still is on Uncanny X-Men, and I know for sure the first volume is out of that on Hoopla. So that's gonna probably maybe next time. We'll see.
Okay. Well, all right. Cool. All right.
Well, hey, I think that's a podcast.
I think it is. I think we
once again. Charles has joined me in the journey to become pod people, and I thank you for doing that and podding with me. And in all seriousness, thank you for doing the podcast with me. Thank you, as I always say, and really, truly mean it, all the heavy lifting, the producing, the editing, the publishing. Thank you to everybody that was listening. Thank you, Patrick, for the website.
I really, really enjoy doing this with you. So thank you very much, Patrick. Thank you. Thanks for everybody that listens. Until next time, y'all have a great one. Bye.
Bye.